Hey everyone, welcome back. Today in The Sims 1, we're going to be building a community lot, and it's going to be a lot with lots of different places to visit. It's going to have a pizza parlor, a coffee shop, a pet store, and a library as well. The lot I'm building on is 9 Sim Lane, which is quite a small lot, and we're kind of building in the Old Town New Orleans style, even though I guess 9 Sim Lane is not technically in Old Town because it's part of the original base game Sims 1 neighborhood rather than the expanded Old Town part. I chose 9 Sim Lane because I wanted to have a lot that is on a corner, so it has access to 2 roads on 2 sides of the lot rather than just having the one road. I think because I wanted the overall lot to be made up of 2 main buildings that are connected to each other, but because they're kind of different businesses, I wanted them to have different entrance and exit points. So you can enter kind of the first building, the building that's kind of in front on one side, and then the building that's actually behind the main building you can still access directly from the street because the street is going around the corner rather than having to walk through the first building to get to it. When you see the finished lot, it should maybe make a bit more sense than the way I'm explaining it at the moment. I was kind of inspired to build some kind of shopping center that had lots of different shops and places to kind of explore and hang out. But somehow I wanted it to have a kind of community feel, not a super corporate shopping center kind of feel. So even when there are multiple businesses within the same lot or within the same building, I like to think that there's quite a relaxed vibe. Maybe all of the shopkeepers and business owners know each other and get on pretty well. I took some inspiration from the Old Town Quarter lot just because it feels like quite a relaxed place to go shopping, maybe get some coffee or go on a date. And there are multiple shops and businesses on that one lot, and they're all kind of connected, but they're all kind of separate. So that was kind of what I was going for as well with this build. The first store I was furnishing was the pizza place, and I was going for a kind of red and blue theme. And I think the pizza place, the pizza parlor, it's kind of the one store that doesn't really match the Old Town vibes. It kind of sticks out a little bit. It's a bit bright and maybe a bit more in your face aesthetically. It's got light blue tiled flooring and some of the walls are light blue, but then some of the other walls are bright red, and there's some bright red counters and overhead hanging lights. But I kind of like the idea that even if the owners of the pizza place were given permission to decorate their store how they want, they still have to kind of adhere to the expectations of the overall building and this sense of you're just renting a space within a larger building. So the windows and doors and the patio fencing all still match the Old Town New Orleans look. The upstairs part of the front building above the pizza place is all dedicated to the pet store. And to use the stairs to get up to the pet store, you have to go up through the coffee shop, which is across the hall from where the pizza parlor is. But then there are also 2 outdoor spiral staircases, one on each side of the building, that lead up to a little balcony area that connects the front building and the building behind. So there's plenty of ways to access all of the different shops and parts of the lot. I didn't want to have Sims getting stuck upstairs just because there's only one staircase and they're constantly waiting for someone to come down the stairs when they want to go up, or vice versa. So the pet store has a kind of light and bright look to it. It's got a light wood floor covering and light green wood paneling on the walls. All of the pet displays where you can adopt pets have this bright yellow and green coloring, which I don't love, but I kind of decided to lean into it by adding extra yellow and green pet counters to have space to put the displays selling collars and pet treats. So the pet store is quite bright. It's not super matching color-wise with the wall covering and floor covering, but I mean, not everything has to match. I think it's fine. I mean, I had tried to build a pet store on its own maybe a few months ago, and I could never decide what color scheme I was happy with because I really wanted to have all the pet objects match the feel of the overall store. And I don't know, I could never decide what colors I really liked for some reason. But maybe it's just nice to have another option for a pet store rather than just having the Pet Paradise lot. I put a few extra pet items out on the balcony in front of the pet store and behind it on the balcony that joins up with the library. So there's a pet bath and also a litter box on the front balcony. And I also put some recliners out there. Then the library in the building behind the pet store is kind of over 2 floors. On the street level, you've got kind of an entrance area and a front desk with a cash register where Sims can buy magazines and a place to sit and use the computer so you can play computer games. And there's also toilets in the library because I didn't manage to fit any toilets in the front building where the pizza parlor is, which would have been useful because I think whenever you go out and buy food, that's usually the establishment that should have toilets. But yeah, the toilets are in the library. But because I feel like everything is quite open and relaxed as a lot, it doesn't feel like the kind of place where you have to buy something to use the toilet. I think the librarian wouldn't mind if you went in there to use the toilet, even if you hadn't checked out a book or bought a magazine. I kind of wish you could check out books for real. I placed lots of bookshelves downstairs and then upstairs as well around a little central balcony area so you can look down below to the ground floor of the library. And Sims can just go there and read a book and just relax. And there's also the very large fish tank that you see in some of the fancier restaurants in downtown that I feel like I never use, but it felt like it fit quite snugly right at the front of the library in between the 2 windows. And I put a 3-seater couch in front of it so Sims could sit there and watch the fish. I don't think they would actually watch the fish from sitting down, but we can pretend that that's what they're doing, it's fine. For some reason, I wanted to have this kind of mini bamboo garden. It's on either side of the little walkway in between the library and the pizza place and the coffee shop. And I just put 2 very large glass windows on either sides of this walkway so Sims can look at the bamboo from there. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I just thought it was kind of a fun idea. But there's also lots of flowers and shrubs for Sims to enjoy outside, as well as a lover's swing. I could definitely see Sims coming here on dates, but I also just think I like using the lover's swing. It's just an object that I seem to place on a lot of lots. I wanted to mention as well about the coffee shop, because I had kind of left that part of the lot until the end. I think originally I wanted to have kind of a clothing store in there, but instead of a clothing store selling a particular type of clothes, I had kind of had this idea that it might be like a clothes swap type place in line with the whole community feel of the lot. I don't know if that really makes sense, but you know, like those places where you can take some old clothes and donate them, and then you can take whatever you want for free in return. I like the idea of having that as a kind of community space somehow, but then I thought it just doesn't really make a ton of sense with the different clothing racks that there are in the game, and Sims are still going to have to pay for clothes. There's no way to just swap one outfit for another. There's not really any gameplay mechanic for that. I could have put just one of every clothing rack that there is in the game, but the space is kind of a little bit small. And because there was the spiral staircase in that store as well leading up to the pet shop, I didn't want it to be too cluttered, I guess. And it kind of makes sense to have like a coffee shop in Old Town. I just think of it as a very Old Town thing. So that's what it ended up being. I think the whole lot turned out okay. Hopefully it feels kind of busy as a place to visit with plenty going on, but not too large or overwhelming or corporate. Feel free to leave any comments down below and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.